Hey, good evening, guys. Here we are. Another day, no disposition. It is Monday, and it is June the 12th of 2017. The Clowns County, or aka Clowns County, Georgia, aka Lowndes County. I've heard a lot of people say Lowndes, Lowndes, Lowndes County. Kind of like Lowndes without the C. It's like they took the C away and put it into a D. Like So it's a clown without the C. Anyways, um, let's see what is going on. Today we have a Thug Life tuxedo cat. This is Mouse. So this was one of the victims here. He was one of the victims, and now we have finally a maiden of the maiden voyage. She was basically rescued from an amusement park Viking type roller coaster. Somebody had her in a little box, and she was really hot. It was extremely hot outside, and so my my lovely fiance took her in and brought home a special gift that I originally nicknamed Hissy Socks. So now that was not an appropriate first name, so we didn't go with that. There's Mr. Mouse. So I want to bring this up too. I meant to talk about during the constitutional discussion that we had about the Magna Carta and how that our um, let's see, can I not find? There we go. And how our document is not just 200 years old and it's not outdated and so forth, and like these myths in the comment section. Um, and these 8,000 people that you're talking about, please pay attention to this. I would urge you, if you're still following me, this woman right here has done extensive work. We can just check it out. I've seen her speak. She's really good. Right here, you can see Chris Ann Hall. That's what I was trying to think of, and I did not think of the correct name at the time, and it led us into Common Core. So I apologize about that for yesterday, but I just want to correct that today, Chris Ann Hall, on average, 265 classes in over 22 states every year to people of all walks of life about the Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and what we can do to defend, promote, and preserve liberty for generations to come. She came and spoke for the Tea Party at Lowndes County, so there are some very attentive people. They're not all there still, and I have no idea. I don't even know what's going on as far as the liberty stuff, and I hope to God there's something going on, but it's very discouraging to have seen some of the activities that we've seen politically in Lowndes County. Obviously, a lot of activities, I should state. But we see that it says that the roots of liberty. That's what I was trying to get at. This is Chris Ann's 5-hour workshop. So what I was trying to tell you in like what a minute or something, or 2 minutes, or whatever we did. We didn't maybe take that long, 2 to 3 minutes, in order to preserve. As we got preserver, I guess that might be a typo. Liberty for our posterity. Americans must know that the Constitution was not an invitation of our framers, and the Bill of Rights was not an afterthought. Sorry. Uh, Everything contained within our Declaration of Independence, Constitution, and Bill of Rights is the product of over 700 years of time tested, blood bought experiences that gave us our foundational principles. Chris Ann will show you where these documents came from, why our framers created a constitutional republic and not a democracy, and how we are operating outside the perimeters of the Constitution, and how to return to our roots of liberty. Every American should have this training, especially those who have taken an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. So, were the sheriffs present during this? Not no, but hell no. Was Pachote present during this presentation? Were there any officers at all present during her presentation of this right here? Did anybody care? Were there any? I think there were zero. I mean, I don't think there were any. There might have been former officers, but I don't know there were any active duty. And I know for sure there was no drug unit idiots in there that care about this. These people are demons. That's what I want you guys to understand. How does stuff get out of control? How do you not have money for things? You know the answer. All you got to do is follow this broadcast and follow anything that I've ever said or am constantly talking about. And not me, it's every liberty-minded individual. Look at Chris Ann. Look what she's been doing for so long. So we see we want to get back to our roots. So it's really cool that you can actually schedule. You can try to see about, see speaking requests here and try to get her to come to speak at your town. I mean, that would be amazing. I mean, there's people like this out there. I just wanted you guys to understand that this stuff does go on in Lowndes County as well, Clowns County. This is the kind of activity that I really deeply respected with individuals within the Republican Party. I mean, it's like not everybody's out to get you, and you might have you might need to ask yourself, do I have a twisted picture of what's really going on? So people have awakening to do, but it's going to come fast. You don't have a choice. We're all going to move really quickly into an awakening. So we just see here, it says today's religious liberty is under assault in America on a scale not seen in over 200 years. The truth is, you got here foundations of religious liberty for churches and groups. That the expansion of liberty throughout our history has almost always been fought within religious liberty context. Chris Ann shares the history that gave us the declarations we find in the First Amendment and shows why a right understanding of these principles is vital to not only keeping religious liberty from being destroyed by its adversaries, but also by its misguided advocates. She corrects the misapplication of the principle of separation of church and state. The presentation will both equip and challenge you. So I just wanted you to see this. And also, real quickly, we'll go ahead and go here to something that I just wanted you to look at to see how things can be, intimidating and discouraging or whatnot. So, I mean, just, when it comes to these 1983 claims, and you can see that, here you've got the plaintiffs versus the defendants there. And they get into like everything here. The jurisdiction here we get into. And then we get into actually the 1983 and how you see later on, you'll find out in this particular case that qualified immunity is denied for somebody trying to claim. We got qualified immunity. 1983. Let's just read this. This sounds real. This is awesome. So this is what kind of thing you're going to see. The title right here is we've read this before. 42 U.S.C. 1983 allows an injured person to seek damages against an individual who has violated his or her federal rights while acting under color of state law. And then you've got the reference here. Is it CEO versus City of Greenwood Village? Individual defendants named in a 1983 action may raise a defense of qualified immunity, which shields public officials from damages actions unless their conduct was unreasonable in light of clearly established law. Gann versus Klein. Quotations admitted. Generally, when a defendant asserts qualified immunity, the plaintiff carries a two-part burden to show that the defendant's actions violated a federal constitutional or statutory right, and, if so, The right was clearly established at the time of the defendant's unlawful conduct. And you got CEO again, Pearsons versus Callahan. To determine whether the right was clearly established, we ask whether, quote, the contours of a right are sufficiently clear that every reasonable official would have understood that what he is doing violates that right, end quote. Ashcroft v. Al-Kid, United States. And it says, ordinarily, in order for the law to be clearly established, there must be a Supreme Court or 10th Circuit decision on point, or the clearly established weight of authority from other courts must have found the law to be as the plaintiff maintains, end quote. Fogarty v. Gallegos. The plaintiff is not required to show, however, that the very act in question previously was held unlawful to establish an absence of qualified immunity, end quote. Weigel versus Broad. So I just wanted you to see kind of like, what the 1983 breaking it down would be, and this is an example here. Summary judgment standard. And so here, we review de novo the district court's denial of a summary judgment motion asserting qualified immunity. Macbeth, Basic Principles Guide, our review of the denial. And it just basically goes and it says a district court shall grant summary judgment if the movement shows that there is no genuine dispute as to any material fact and that the movement, see, this is the type of stuff that you're gonna look up. See, watch. See, some of the stuff you're not even gonna be. It's a person who applies to or petitions a court or judge for a ruling in his or her favor. Okay, so we got here. So this types of words that you were gonna run into in this whole process. Is entitled to judgment as a matter of law. In applying this standard, we construe the evidence in the light most favorable to the plaintiffs as the non-moving party. Macbeth. So you kind of get this. These are quotes right here. So when the defendant has moved for summary judgment based on qualified immunity, we will still view the facts in the light of most favorable to the non-moving party and resolve all factual disputes and reasonable inferences in its favor. Unlike most affirmative defenses, however, the plaintiff would bear the ultimate burden of persuasion at trial to overcome qualified immunity. They're not going to you can't claim qualified immunity if there were two things that were mentioned. That the right was clearly established at the time. Of course, we know that the unlawful act took place. And generally, and it says here, the defendant's actions violated a federal constitutional or statutory right. So 1 and 2. Boom, boom. 2-step. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Get out of here. All right, so I just wanted to look up also, like, see this, for instance, this word right here. This is not in the dictionary. Okay, so when you try to look up stuff like this and you say look up, it's not going to, you have to Google this. You have to do this and look up. You have to search with Google and not this because it's not in the dictionary here for Mac anyways. So a legal doctrine most commonly used in tort that holds an employer or principal legally responsible, for the wrongful acts of an employee or agent if such acts occur within the scope of the employment or agency. So see, this is the kind of thing that you're going to run into. I just wanted to point that out. So anyways, tonight I just, wanted to give you an update and review this right here, what I had showed you guys yesterday. So Jane, and we've got, this is a Georgia Tea Party meeting here, Common Core Curriculum. So if you're not, and the proposed charter school amendment. So if you're a friend of mine, I do have a friend some friends that are involved with Lowndes County politically. So if you guys want to pass this along, this is a great tool for you to use and learn and study because this girl knows what she's talking about. So I highly encourage and I just hope that there's more meetings and more people like this and just more drive. And this is all during the Ron Paul era. This is just like we had such drive. It was really really awesome, and it was really nice. And it was sad to see a lot of the stuff that did happen, but it was a really good experience. So I didn't even know that. See, some of this stuff, like, I didn't even know some of these videos. I really don't like the skippable ads, to be honest with you guys. It just, I'm sorry, YouTube. But a lot of the times, it seems like the skippable ones are, like, the most. And I guess that's for a reason, because you have calibers, and I understand. Um, Hormones. It feels really sad to see. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Because I wouldn't say kill yourself and all that. That's really sad. I mean, if people would say stuff like that, but um, I wonder, if somebody, ask yourself this. I don't know if you may be involved with this or you know somebody, but if you're reliant on some kind of drug, I mean, a pharmaceutical drug, and you can't grow it yourself, then you're gonna be really SOL when it comes time to have those kinds of things shut down or just no access for some reason. And see, I've only got it, so you have to turn it up pretty loud. I'm sorry, but this is one of my earlier videos. Obviously, you guys can see I've been doing this for a long time. I've been active for a long time trying to just do things, trying to wake people up to stuff. And, I get to where you can only do so much, especially during all the times of the continual harassment. So, but I just wanted to point this out. These are the types of things you guys can look up, and I, just totally encourage anybody. This is not just for Clowns County. This is for everybody because we're all a bunch of clowns. Look at us. Look at America right now. Look what we almost had in the White House. I mean, look what we did have in the White House. Look what we've had in the White House before, and look who's there now. I know. I mean, we got to pay attention to all that stuff, and there's obviously a time for a change. But I just want to point out that my case and it brings up so many different questions, like in the comment section about just trying to just give up on the law and then claim sovereign immunity. And I understand that that is ultimately true, but however, there's always these people always do things in your face. They always do things in plain sight. The answer is always in plain sight. It's always there. You can always find it. I don't care what you're talking about. Like I said earlier, the secret is there is no secret. So once you have the power and the drive within yourself, you can do anything. You can stand up to these people. You can fight. You can stand up and say, "Look, we're not going to take this anymore. You're not going to be writing us tickets without accountability. No taxation without representation. If you got cops out there shooting guns at people, I don't care if it's a laser. I don't care what the hell you're shooting at people. Radiation, especially. I mean, you're a bunch of idiot. I mean, if you're just holding on to something that's spewing a bunch of radiation, you're probably not very bright. But I mean, whatever. You're shooting out radiation at people, and I know it's probably safe. Maybe there's ways that you can make it somewhat safe. But I mean, really, you be shooting people with this stuff with no accountability. We have cameras. I'm recording what I'm doing. You can see everything I'm doing right now. If I make a mistake, it's recorded right now. If everything that I say is not 100% accurate that comes out of my mouth, and I make a mistake, then I made a mistake, and you see me. See, I'm I'm just a citizen. So what makes me different than an officer who has the right to take your life according to these crazy, outlandish laws and rules that they allow themselves? There are all kinds of rules. They just try to get away from everything in Georgia. If you look up Georgia law, and I'll just keep going, I don't want to make these too slam filled with stuff. We're just going to kind of we'll just play it by ear. We're just kind of just go with the flow. I don't want to make these too slam packed with things to where that you can't even find information if you look it up. Just like I was talking about Google the other day. I don't want to be guilty of that. So what I'm going to do is these YouTube YT 600, these days, I'm not leaving. I don't like that. I'm going to describe in the actual title as soon as we get to disposition, obviously, or before that, we're going to get to it and describe more of like what is going on. But I want people to pay attention to this and follow this, so that I want them to click on any of them and just click on all of them. Watch me or watch all of them. It doesn't matter. I mean, find out what's going on in my case. I don't want to repeat it for all those who've been following me. So I'm going to stop repeating what happened over and over again. I mean, I will eventually, keep mentioning things, but I just want to, I'm sorry, this is going in the background, but this is actually a really good lecture. If you want to learn about the Common Core and Charter School Amendment that was going on at this time and how it applies in this. I know this was in 2012, but it doesn't matter. These people keep trying the same thing over and over again. If they don't get what they want, they'll try it again. The T-Splosh, they'll just keep doing it and keep doing it until every single county is sucked into this stupid thing, and they all sign their signatures, and then they can't get out of it some kind of way. It's like a stupid trap. So I was just gonna see if we could watch that or that part where Trump was just like throwing stuff in the trash can. That's what it looked like to me. Throwing away stuff. I don't know. I just saw it the other day. He was basically just throwing away a bunch of stuff. Just a bunch of just stupid regulations that we've had for so long. I mean, I don't know. Trump signs resolution to permit dumping. See, we're getting dumping now. So he's done away with a lot of regulations. See, on YouTube, you can't. Sometimes you need to, type things in Google just straight up or any search engine. And I just wanted to see maybe if there's some images here, of him doing that. But I just, I want to see more of this. We need to stop this crap. This is a bunch of bull crap. We need to overturn this nonsense in Georgia. It's all over the place. I apologize for getting off track and not finding things, like immediately off the top of my head. Like I said, I'm organic. I'm being real. I'm showing you if I make a mistake, it's right here. These people, they're taking lives without this. Now we got cameras now. So after my incident, then from what I understand, the departments in Lowndes County and Valdosta are wearing cameras now. So are we cutting back on the amount of inmates all of a sudden for whatever reason? Are we, what's going on? Ask yourself, it's a good time to retire, isn't it? Maybe you guys could just beat up as many people and gather as many lawsuits as possible right before you retire. I'm sure the judge is going to look really favorably upon you when you taking the taxpayer money and just squandering it. And see, what I don't like is I don't like the judges in Lowndes County. You guys are you're a smart ass. There's two smart ass witches I do not like in Lowndes County. I'll call your sorry butts out. Oh my God. I hope I can pull your stupid face up. Hold on one second. I'm sorry I get upset, but I am not playing any more games with these people. I'm so done. And I'm sure and this will be this is local. I mean, this is some I'm going to tell you about this other municipal court judges. Maybe we'll find, and that's Valdosta City right there. We're on W3 Georgia Courts. Okay. This is like everybody. This ValdostaCity.com. Let's see what we've got here. And I might have to make things bigger again just for the heck of it. Just, yeah, try to see what we got here. That's stupid. Like, if I'm scrolling down and all of a sudden I get to this, all of a sudden it's like, it just starts making me do this. So I can't scroll any further. So then I got to go up here and go, whew, to get down here. Good job, whoever did this in Valdosta, Valdumpster. I mean, just whatever. You guys, I'm sorry, but I've been put down and labeled for plenty long enough. So it's payback time. I'm calling your sorry asses out now and start blasting you all over the freaking world and show you and destroy it. You destroyed your own lives. I'm not destroying anything about you. I am only trying to pull up facts if I can. I'm just trying to find the stupid judges in Valdosta. See, let's see how hard it is to find out who a judge is. Judge Bender. I think that might be it. Yes. Oh my God. You right there. Look at her. Is that a her? Are you a her? What is this? You're disgusting. I'll tell you what you are. You're disgusting. You know what you did? So in I get followed by Heat, the gooseneck idiot, Gussick or whatever his name is, and I'll prove every bit of this. You guys want to sit there, you guys want to do anything. Come at me any kind of way. I will bring every bit of this to the freaking camera and show you. I've got the evidence, and I'm just sick of this crap. But anyways, I get followed from the bar. This is the night I get followed from the bar. And I don't know if this was intentional. I don't know if somebody did this to my tag light or whatever. But nobody would know this. You're not going to get in your car and know that your tag light is out. Like one tag light. Or they're both out. Or whatever. If you just have one, that's fine, right? You only have one tag light, right? One bulb. Whatever. So that one bulb goes out. Do you know that while you're driving? Is there any alert at all in your car at all? No, there's not, right? Not that I know of, not in my freaking car. I mean, if you got a Maserati, maybe, or Jaguar, maybe, I don't know, Lamborghini, maybe, I don't know, Bentley. So, what do who all can know for a fact that their tag light's out and when that it goes out? And if they could crank up their car and turn around and look at the tag light while it was running, and then get in the car and go, and then it goes out while they're driving, this witch, disgusting, ugly piece of trash right here, wants to charge you $160 for that. And then when you bring evidence that you fixed it, she'll knock it in half for you and knock it down to $80. Isn't that lovely? I can't take any more of this, you idiot. Oh my God, I can't do this. Oh my God, that's just, I can't even look at that person. I mean, that's just, oh my God! How many lives have you ruined? I'm just tired of this, and I don't see driving that many people, but I'm going to put it in you. I'm going to put it in you. Follow me, don't you? Keep following me. We're going to follow me all the way to court, because we're going to court. I'm done with this. Maybe all day tomorrow. I don't know what all's going on. See, I've got to live my life. I've got things to do. Everybody's got things to do. But you guys, this is all you freaking do is just screw things up. So whenever these people do things that are illegal, what do? Collectively, what do we do to get people like that away, out of here, gone, poof, gone, unconstitutional as hell? Can you think of anything more oppressive? That same night, they took me to jail and then released me and just dumped me off at the Valdosta Police Department. Go to hell. Go to hell.